Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. There's gonna be no music at the start of the stream today. I guess it's time to get into the swing of things straight away. So, I welcome you all to the live stream. Nike, FPL Sam, Storm, Jeevan, SH, Akshay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And let's get started. So, if you can read my pinned tweet, I've told you my proposed transfer plan. But I haven't made the transfers because on Twitter there's been quite a noise that we might get early kind of team news as to whether Ronaldo is starting or not. It is more like a leak from some of the trusted accounts who are who give us team leaks. So I'm just waiting for those moves. So I haven't actually made any transfers as of now. Hey Buckshot, welcome my friend. SH says, hello, it's great to hear from you again. Any transfer made? No, as I said, SH, I haven't made any transfer as of now, but I will make a transfer soon. I'm pretty clean with in my head about the plan or the transfers that I'm supposed to make. It's only that I'm debating whether I should go for Ronaldo or Lukaku. That's the only thing which is left to kind of do. Fadzali says Cody or Markal. I think Markal is the better option. Cody I don't think has any attacking threat. Markal has been putting in crosses, like really good crosses, and I think Markal is the better option at 4.5 from that Wolves defense. Isha says, hi Wiz. Hey Isha, what's up? Fazali says, Lukaku in now or DCL to Lukaku in game week 7. To be honest with you, DCL is I think, not mutually exclusive with Lukaku. I think DCL is the kind of player which we should have in our teams, irrespective of whether we go for Lukaku or not. But if I had the option, maybe go for Lukaku now. He's got Aston Villa, Spurs, Manchester City, and then the easier fixtures start anyway. So, in my opinion, I think that's the way to go. Nike says Semedo a good option Wiz or given some great fixture. Totally. I mean, if I had the money to go for Semedo, I would. The thing is, if I kind of make my proposed transfers, which I'm proposing, and I have enough money in the bank to go for Semedo, but then next week I won't have enough money to go from Tony to maybe somebody like Jimenez or DCL, or maybe sell Tony and get somebody in midfield. So I'm just planning for the future. Smelly Web says hi Wiz, hi everybody. Hey Smelly Web, welcome my friend. We missed you in the last stream when we did the FPL Council, so welcome back. And George says, who's your captain if you don't captain Ronaldo? If I don't captain Ronaldo, I think it has to be Salah, And by the way, I've just put it on Antonio here. But if I don't captain Ronaldo, I think if I get Ronaldo or Lukaku, I think those are my captaincy options. So if I get Lukaku, I think I'll captain Lukaku, and if I get Ronaldo, I'll captain Ronaldo. So, I don't think there's any doubt in there. Bjorn says, do you think Mahrez to Jata and Tsimikas to Semedo is a good move? Bjorn, I think those are fantastic moves, to be honest with you. Not even good. I think they're fantastic moves because Semedo has really good fixtures, been playing in a really advanced position, and Jata is obviously with Firmino injured. I think Jata is a great option. Anna says, should we jump onto Ronaldo for Bruno out and wait for one more game week? See, if you want to get Ronaldo, Anas, I think this is the week to do it. This is the week with the euphoria, the fans in the stadium, Ronaldo playing, scoring a goal. You're gonna miss out on all the moment. You're going to remember this for a long time in your FPL career that you had Ronaldo when he scored his goal on his return to Manchester United. So, in my opinion, and Newcastle are struggling to put out a keeper. They don't have Callum Wilson. It's like a weakened Newcastle team versus a fully fit or a fully raring to go United team. So, yeah. FPL Jack says, yo Wiz, hey Jax, what's up? Tom says, my wildcard. Sanchez, Trent, Cody. As I just said, I'd prefer Markal over Cody, but that's totally your personal decision. Christiansen, that's a good pick. Sar, Mount, Jota, Salah. To be honest with you, I mean, I like that team, my friend, but maybe, with Mount, you can maybe get Greenwood now and maybe get Mount in later after, your, let's say, game week 6. I think that makes more sense to me because Mount has some tough fixtures. It's not that Mount is a very prolific goal scorer anyway, so I'd say Greenwood in place of Mount, but I like that wildcard otherwise. Bipin says, haven't you made your transfers? Yeah, Bipin, I haven't actually. I've been, waiting for some news about Ronaldo, which we think we're gonna get some leaks about the United team news, so I'm waiting for any news. And as soon as I get the news, I'm gonna make my transfers. But I've already put up my proposed transfers on the pinned tweet so that you can kind of read it. Geeta says, "Are you not planning for Cristiano Ronaldo, Ailing, or Livramento?" No, I am planning for Ronaldo, my friend. I'm just waiting for the news, right? So I possibly gonna go for either Ronaldo or Lukaku. Just waiting for the news whether Ronaldo starts or not. If Ronaldo starts, then I think it's kind of a no-brainer to go for Ronaldo. Uh, Out of Ailing or Livramento, I think I'd start Livramento. Ailing has just really tough fixture. Best option for Simicast. If you want to go for a like for like, you could go for Duffy, you could go for Livramento, you could even go for Brandon Williams. But I don't expect Norwich to keep too many clean sheets, yeah? Nike says, Wiz, I guess all going in for Ronaldo are sleeping on Salah. Yeah, to be honest with you, if you have Salah and he bangs against Leeds, I think you're going to be fine, because a lot of people are going to be captaining Ronaldo. And Salah, his ownership is a bit down right now. It's like 54. It was over 60%. So people have been selling Salah on their wildcards. I really don't know why, but they have been. So I don't think his expected ownership is going to be too high. Salah, I think many people are going to be captaining Ronaldo. FPL Sam says, I'm thinking to do no hit this game week, which in itself might get me some ranks up. Well, Sam, it's totally subjective as to how we play the game. I think this game week people like are wildcarding left, right, and center. So much uncertainty with the Brazilian players and the South American players in general. Buendia and Martinez not playing, and Rafinha and all the others, Alisson, Fabinho, they've been cleared to play just yesterday night. So it's been a traumatic or tumultuous international break. Ings and Bruno out for Jota and Ronaldo is I think the move to go for, because Firmino is injured. I think Jota is an amazing asset at 7.5 million. Honestly feel that. Best Son replacement besides Jota, I'd say there's no like for like replacement. I'd say Rafinha, Jota, Greenwood. These are the kind of players you have to kind of go for when you sell Son, because Son is by himself in kind of a price bracket which you don't have many players in. So yeah, Rafinha, Jota, Greenwood would be my options, go-to options. Odegaard or Smith? Akshay, what do you mean, Odegaard or Emil Smith Rowe? You mean? I wouldn't get any of them, to be honest with you. At 5.5 million, I'd rather go for somebody like Abdullah Doucouré. Aditya says, "Was any news on Son injury?" Well, Nuno wasn't too clear in his press conference, Aditya. So we're looking at a kind of a 50-50 chance of Son starting, but from his press conference, I could see that it's more of a negative than a positive about Son. Ahmed says, "Will you get Ronaldo instead of who, and will you captain?" If I get Ronaldo, I'll captain Ronaldo 100%, my friend. There's no doubt about that. And and if I get Ronaldo, it's gonna be in place of Ings. Anna says, "Sar, Greenwood, or Gray? Bruno out, Ronaldo in." Greenwood, totally Greenwood. Number 1 Greenwood, number 2 Sar, number 3 Demarai Gray. I'm more likely to kind of go for somebody like Abdullah Doucouré over Gray. I don't think he's going to maintain his goal scoring. He just got 2 big chances and scored both of them, but I don't think Gray is the best option in that Everton midfield. Yeah, so many comments, guys. I just have to kind of get a move on. Melanik says, "Will Robertson start? What do you think about Trent to Robo? I would use the extra money to get Ronaldo in place of Lukaku. So basically, Robo and CR7." To be honest with you, Melanik, the way Trent has been playing this season, I would not sell Trent Alexander-Arnold for Robertson. I think Trent has had a much bigger impact on Liverpool's attacks than Robertson. So in my opinion, that is not the way to get Ronaldo. Maybe some other player, but not Trent, in my opinion. Kikawa says, "Is Son injury serious? I have one fleet transfer. Can you replace him, and by which options?" I think it's not a serious injury. I think he is probably going to be back next game week. I think the only risk is that he misses this game week. So, if you want to get a replacement, again, I just suggested Jota, Greenwood, Rafinha would be my top 3 picks to replace Son, because I think this just have the best fixtures. Number 1 would be Jota because of the fixtures. Matthew says I missed Wilson's price drop. Yeah, it's because he's injured. He's again injured. Wilson. He's the good FPL option. He's the talisman of that Newcastle team, provided he can stay fit. Those hamstrings are made of glass. Abhishek says your analysis is awesome. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Babin says Semikas, Bruno, Ings to Jota, Ronaldo plus 4.6 million defender. Ailing, Cody, Livramento, White. I have Veltman, Trent, Shaw, and Amarte. I'd say just go for Livramento. I wouldn't. Maybe you're Ailing, because Leeds have got such good fixtures. I wouldn't go for Cody. I'd possibly go with Markal. But I like those transfers. I like that plan. The thing is, if let me show you my transfers page. Just give me a second. Yeah. So basically, what moves I'm thinking of making is getting Ings out, Fernandes out, and Tsimikas out. Now, the way I plan my transfers, for example, I go for Jota, right? By the way, I'm really scared of not owning Greenwood this game week, but you can't have everybody, unfortunately. So, Ronaldo. So now I've got 5.6 million in the bank, as you can see here. The problem is I don't want to spend my money in my defense. The thing is, I could go for somebody like a Markal. Let's say I go for Markal, right? And next week, the only option I have to go for is Jimenez, because if I want to sell Tony next week, I don't have any other options. Or maybe if I want to sell Tony for, let's say, a 4.5 million forward, in let's see, maybe anybody, let's say Street. So if I want to update Gilmore, I can't get a Greenwood in place of Gilmore just because of the price rises and stuff. So if I go for Livramento in place of Markal right now, that is how I'm looking at. Maybe I'll get Greenwood next game week, or maybe somebody else, but at least that keeps my options open. That is exactly what I'm thinking right now. That is the reason I'm not kind of getting a higher priced defender in place of Livramento, in place of Tsimikas. That is the thinking behind my transfer plan, by the way. I always make my transfer plan, I always plan ahead. I just don't look at this game week. I'm looking at the upcoming game weeks as well. Alright, let's move on. Traore or Trincao? Don't want Sar. To be honest with you, my friend, I think Traore has had amazing chances. I think he's had 3 big chances, hasn't scored a goal. Trincao has been good as well. He's been lively. I think the opposition which they play against, I think Trincao is much more suited to playing against a Watford than Traore, because Traore plays better against the bigger teams against which they get to counter-attack. Trincao, I think, would play better against the teams in which they're kind of sitting deep and they need to break them down. Aiden, good morning, my friend. Geeta says, after Cristiano, I couldn't afford Jota, so went for Torres. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty certain that I was going to go for Torres. The problem is he played 3 games in the international break, all 90 minutes. So I was a little bit, concerned whether he's going to start. Pep is going to start Torres or not, and that is the reason in the end, I ended up going for, or ended up thinking about going for Jota. I haven't made my transfer, so no point in saying that I went for him. By the way, let me check Twitter if I have any updates. So Rafinha is available. That's not an update that we already knew. Nope. I don't think we have. Right now we don't have any update on Ronaldo. Alright, let's come back and answer your questions then. Traore or Gray? If I was you, I'd possibly go with the... If you're thinking about going with Demarai Gray, my friend, I think I'd be better off going with Abdoulaye Doucouré. Came late to the stream. What is your plan and your captain? Shopnan, I've put a pinned tweet, so if you read the tweet, I think my transfer plan is in there. And if I get Ronaldo, he's gonna be my captain. Venkatesh says Salah or Jota for captaincy, since Jota seems to match. See, my friend, Salah is on penalties, so I don't think this is really a doubt. If you have Salah, you captain Salah. How likely is that Brighton keep a clean sheet? Brighton are a very good defensive team, I have to say, but they've just been leaking goals. I think they've played so well in the opening few games, but they've been leaking goals. I think if they, I'd say 60% would be the possibility. Depends on how lit that Brentford stadium is. For that Arsenal game, it was the new stadium for Brentford, and the crowd was so up for that game, and that is the reason they just pushed Brentford to do really well. Are they going to be up for the game today? Not so sure, but I'd say I'd say it depends on how much crowd can push them. All right. RA says Torres for Son. I can't bring in Jota because I already got 3 Liverpool players. See, Raise, if you can take a -4 hit and bring in Jota, that would be also a good option. Torres is a rotation risk. Anybody who goes for Torres, you have to get him thinking that you have to know that he's going to be rotated, guys. All right, just keep that in mind. And then you shall be fine. If he doesn't start, at least you're at the back of your mind. You won't be traumatized by your transfer. Anis says, I already answered that. Hey Wiz, Ronaldo and Jata versus DCL and Bruno. Which combination do you think? I think Ronaldo and Jota will score more points. I might be biased. It might be confirmation bias because I'm thinking of getting Ronaldo in place of Bruno. So at the back of my mind, I don't know what psychology is going on, but technically I think DCL, because he's not fit, so if he scores a goal and Everton are winning, I think he might get taken off. And Bruno, if they get a penalty today, United, I think Ronaldo's gonna take it, just because they would want him to open his account as soon as possible, right? So I'd say Ronaldo and Jota. Aubameyang captain for 1 game week. Sagar, I'm tempted to say yes because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I really wouldn't, because Arsenal, have been kind of really struggling in the Premier League. At least they scored 6 goals against West Brom in the Carabao Cup, but I don't think that matters because it was against absolutely kids of West Bromwich Albion. Nike says, Wiz, I missed all the Wolves games this season. How's Jimenez doing? Is he just as good as before? Yeah, let me show you here. I'm sorry if I'm taking some time away from answering the questions, but I'm just gonna show you this. By the way, this website is Fantasy Football Fix. If you want to kind of get its subscription, you can use the link in the description, and you can get a 60% discount off the website. So here's Jimenez. 12 shots, 10 assists. I mean, let me show you. 12 shots, 11 in the box, 1 on target, 0 big chances, XG of 0.65. Not bad, Nike. I'd say not bad. I won't say he is the best, but I think he's been doing all right. The thing is, he hasn't scored a goal. That'll give him confidence to kind of, just finish off those chances. But he hasn't. He's got 11 shots in the box, but not a single big chance. So that will be a little bit of a concern to me. Matthew says thoughts on DCL fitness. DCL, I think, has been training through the pain, So I think if Everton are winning comfortably by 60 minutes, I think he's gonna get taken off. But I think it's encouraging that he's playing through pain and he's also on penalties for Everton. So if you have DCL, I'd be encouraged to kind of go for him. Ajay says Salah or Lukaku for captaincy. Ooh, that's a tough one, Ajay. That's a really tough one. I'd say Lukaku. The reason being, Lukaku hasn't played at at Stamford Bridge as of now because he's played at the Emirates and he's played away to Liverpool. So I think the first game back at Stamford Bridge against Aston Villa without Martinez and without Buendia, I think Chelsea gonna defeat Aston Villa by I'd say 3-goal margin, and Lukaku is sure to be involved. I'd say Lukaku is just the better option, provided that Salah is away at Leeds. Avnish says, hi Wiz, Grealish, Sarr, Bamford, DCL, my concern players. Do you think anyone I should move up? I think they are all great options. The only reasoning I have with Grealish is not looking the kind of player that can score 15s, 20s, even 12s in that kind of team, So I'd say I like all those. I like all those players anyway. Raja says, hi Wiz, Livramento or Duffy or Brendan Williams. I'd say, Duffy and Livramento are better options because Norwich I don't see keeping many clean sheets anyway. So I'd say Livramento or Duffy would be better options. Faz says first sub Tsimikas or Ailing. Tsimikas. Robertson has played like 3 90-minute games. Maybe if Klopp decides to give him a rest, you can have a full match from Tsimikas. Depends what happens there. Anis says Lloris or Sanchez in goal. Lloris or Sanchez? Lloris. Definitely Lloris. If you have Lloris, you play him every game anyway, Does Aubameyang for Arsenal take penalties? Is he a 1 week punt? Yes, he is on penalties for Arsenal. If he's on the pitch, Aubameyang is the one who's going to take penalties. So that's not a problem there. But how many penalties are Arsenal going to win is the question. Norwich haven't been playing bad. Norwich have actually played pretty well. So I'm confident that we're going to win today, but not by a huge margin. I don't think, because a team, when its confidence is broken, the manager is under pressure, and the crowd is not fully behind the team. I don't think it's a conducive atmosphere for scoring a lot of goals. If we score early, the floodgates might open, but that's asking for a lot in my opinion. Why are you taking hit by getting a defender, Jackson? It's because I want Jota and I've already got Tsimikas, and I can't have 4 Liverpool players. So I'm getting out Tsimikas to get Jota. My other option is to go for Torres. I've got another option. If I don't want to go, take a hit, I could actually just go for Torres. But I just think that the next 3 games for Jota are really, really. I don't like the next 3 games of Torres as much as I like Jota's games, and I think with Firmino injured, Jota's going to get more minutes. So I think that decision was straightforward for me to go for Jota. So I get rid of Tsimikas and get maybe Liverpool in. I was thinking about Duffy as well. I mean, I thought really, really hard about Marçal. I might even consider him, because Wolves have got like brilliant fixtures. Like this run is fantastic. But for now, I've won Liverpool. Let me just put him in. Todd says, Wiz, energy is amped up to 11. He is bringing Ronaldo and Jota. Todd, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Can you please? Refugian says, when are you confirming your team layout? What changes do you make? Refugian, these are the changes, my friend, and I've put them on the pinned tweet so you can have a look. I just need to kind of, I'm waiting for any updates I can get on Twitter. So if somebody says, for example, the leaks say that Ronaldo is starting, I'd be more than happy to. I'm just on Twitter checking out for any leaks, any kind of. Nope. Right now I don't see any news, by the way. But I'm gonna keep looking. I'm gonna confirm my team 15 minutes before the deadline. I'm gonna make my transfers right here in front of you live, so it's not an issue. If Ronnie doesn't play, who are you looking to bring in? My friend, Ronaldo is gonna play today. That's not an issue. The thing is, Ronaldo is the thing is, he might start, he might not start, and that I'm going with 75% chance of Ronaldo starting, but I'm still gonna wait for any news if I can get it. Thoughts on Dele Alli? I like Dele Alli, 6.5 million. He even took a penalty, but now Kane is back, so he's definitely not gonna take them anymore. But at 6.5 million, Dele Alli is good. The fixtures are not the best, I have to say this. They've got a North London derby coming, they've got a game against Chelsea coming, so at 6.5 million, you can't go wrong with Dele Alli. The fixtures are not that good. Babin says, hey Wiz, I'm worried about my defense. If I do Tsimikas to Liverpool, it will leave me with Trent, Shaw, Weltman, Liverpool and Armati. I think I need a 4.5 million. My friend, if you need to go for a 4.5 million, you can think about going with somebody like maybe a Ben White, or maybe some Wolves defender. Those are the good options which you can think about. You can even think about going with Ayling, because Leeds have also got good fixtures after this game week. Will Armati start? I don't think so. If Vestergaard is back, I don't think Amartey is going to start. Anis says Smith Rowe, Gilmore or Duffy in the 11. To be honest with you, Anis, I don't see Smith Rowe is as nailed, because I see Pepe starting today, I see Aubameyang starting today, and Saka as well, followed by Odegaard, Partey and Lokonga. I just don't see any place for Smith Rowe in the team unless he decides to drop Saka, which I don't see happening. So in my opinion, I'd say if you have Smith Rowe, you can put him in, because he's more attacking out of the players. Second option would be Duffy. Jake Edwin says Saiz or Semedo. In my opinion, Semedo, because Saiz is. I know Saiz has been playing attacking. I know De Gea made amazing saves to kind of keep Saiz out that day against United, but Saiz is not nailed on. When Willy Bolly comes back, or he decides to change the system, I think Saiz is the one who's going to drop out. So based on that, and Semedo's been playing so advanced, I'd say Semedo, my friend. That's just my opinion, by the way. If you feel you want to go for size, totally, that's totally fine as well. Is it worth to take a -8 to get rid of Simicast and Son for Jota and Semedo? -8s are never my cup of tea, to be honest with you, my friend. But when you're taking out two players who I don't see playing, then I'd say it's not the worst move which you can make. Yeah. Because Son is not going to play this game week, hopefully, from the news which I can get, and neither is Simicast. So Jota and Semedo are giving you an upside, and if Jota scores one goal, your hit will be justified. So yeah. Adam says Torres versus Greenwood versus Havertz. Number 1 Greenwood, number 2 Torres, number 3 Havertz. The thing is, Chelsea have got some difficult fixtures. Otherwise, I would love Havertz in my team as well. Torres is not as nailed on as Greenwood, so I'd say Greenwood. He scored a goal in all of the 3 games he's started in. I don't see any reason not to go for Greenwood over Torres or Havertz. If you're feeling about taking a little bit of a risk, or you feeling you can take Torres' benching, then I'd say Torres, number 2. Tony says, this Justin Ronaldo has blanked against Newcastle. Bruno gets a hat-trick. That's not going to happen. That's not going to... If United score any goals, I think Ronaldo is going to be involved in that. For example, let's say Ronaldo doesn't start. Let's say, hypothetically, Ronaldo doesn't start. United scored 3 goals. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be, itching to throw Ronaldo in and, just exciting the crowd even more, getting them behind the team, and they're going to be milking the occasion. So I don't see any chance if United score like 3 or 4 goals and Ronaldo doesn't. Anna says Lukaku for this game week with a hit and Ronaldo for the next game week. If you get Lukaku this game week, I don't think it makes any sense to get Ronaldo next game week, because United next game week have got West Ham United, which is not the easiest game. So if you get Lukaku now, you keep him for the next 2 game weeks, and if you get Ronaldo now and then you keep him for the next 2, I think that's the way to go. Will Ronaldo start King Kong? I have no idea, bro. Honestly, I'm just waiting for Twitter to give me any news. 5 minutes, he says. The Football Intelligence Unit, the guy who I'm trusting for this news. Let me turn on his notifications. Guys, if I get any news about Ronaldo, he says 5 minutes, so hopefully he'll give us some update on Ronaldo. So you can all take that with a pinch of salt. But if I have any update, I'll let you know. Aaron says, do you think Dennis Pookie can prove to be a differential? I think Dennis could be a good differential. With I think Watford having really good fixtures, my friend. So I like the look of Dennis, and he's proved that he can score some goals. Norwich don't have good fixtures. Although the FDR says 3 here, 3 here, I expect them to lose these games. Maybe Watford at home is fine, but Burnley away, how is that a 2 for Norwich? I don't understand this FPL FDR. So I just make my own FDR. When the fixtures come out and I see a couple of games, I make the FDR according to my own opinions and my own eye test. How is Burnley away a 2 for Norwich? How is Everton away a 3, Arsenal away a 3? I don't know. I expect them to lose these games. So I'd say go for Dennis. Ani says, is it better to bring in Lukaku now? The thing is, my friend, if you want to go for, if you're not going to wildcard in game week before game week 7, you can bring in Lukaku. The only tough game I see is Manchester City. I see Chelsea scoring against Tottenham. I see Chelsea scoring against Aston Villa. So you're just basically taking a risk of 1 game. So I wouldn't be against bringing in Lukaku now. Babin says Ayling, Cody versus Markal. Ayling, I say. Ayling is the most nailed on. Markal, I'm not so sure, because he can be replaced by 8 Nouri, and Markal is injury prone as well. So Cody is just boring, a boring FPL pick. That's why I don't recommend Cody. But that should not be your parameter for selecting the players, but that's just me. Matthew says thinking Jimenez in for Wilson and Jota in for Mahrez. Jimenez in for Wilson, Jota. Yeah. No problems there, Matthew. I like those moves a lot. Jimenez would be, if he had scored 1 goal, I think his ownership would be very high as compared to it is now. But I think you're playing it right and bringing him in before the good fixtures. Good idea, bro. Babikar says Torres or DCL. DCL. I'd say DCL. King Kong says, what about if we keep Ings? Is it worth or not? Ings, if you see Ings' fixtures, you tell me, is it worth keeping Ings or not, bro? I just don't see him doing anything. Like Chelsea, alright, Everton home is not a 4 maybe. You know, Manchester United away, Tottenham. If these games were at home, 3 of these games were at home, I'd say you can think about keeping Ings. But since all the tough games are away from home, I'd say it's better to sell. You know, although he's been scoring goals and whatever, but in my opinion, it's better to sell. Bruno to Greenwood, Son to Jota, Tony to CR7. 100% Nasir. If I was you, I'd do it. Hassan says, thoughts on Saka instead of Benrahma? Not for me. I think if you want to go for Saka, you might as well. But he is not on set pieces. He's not scoring many goals. He's not in the best of form, Arsenal. So I'd say Benrahma is the better option. Even Rafinha is the better option. Is Tierney good to cap? If you've got Tierney in your team, I think that's good enough. I don't think you should be captaining Tierney, in my opinion, bro. I would never recommend you to captain as an FPL enthusiast. I don't want to call myself an expert because I don't think it's easy to be an expert at FPL. So from what I've learned over the years, it's always best to captain an attacking player. Possibly a midfielder who scores goals is the best option. Defender would be my last option to captain. Alright, Mon says, will Cristiano Ronaldo start? I'm going to give you an update hopefully when I get it. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter checking the news again and again. In 5 minutes, he's gonna tell us his prediction whether he starts or not, and I'll let you know. So let's wait until 5 minutes, and I'll let you know. Would you play Duffy over Rafinha? I wouldn't. No, I would play Rafinha. As a United fan, really excited to watch Ronaldo playing, but totally, I understand that. It's a bit like when Thierry Henry came back to Arsenal. He scored that legendary goal versus Leeds United in the Carabao Cup, I think it was. It was Carabao or was it FA Cup? But it was a legendary goal, just like the same signature Thierry Henry finish. I understand the excitement, totally do. Aaron says, having second thoughts about Traore because of his bad finishing. Do you think I should go for Trincao? The thing is, Traore plays well against teams who like press, who attack Wolves, and he plays on the counter attack. I think Trincao is better suited to playing against teams who kind of sit back deep and defend, you know. But I would love to have Trincao score a goal before I can think about bringing him in. So, you know, it's a bit touch and go. I'd say the same price Sarr could be a good option too. King Kong says, suggest me a better forward in replace for Ings other Lukaku, my friend. DCL, Lukaku, Bamford. These would be my options. Dexter says, I brought in Jimenez, gotta take a risk. I'm still not sure who to captain. You brought in Jimenez, I think this is the right time to bring in Jimenez, bro. Totally do. Khalid says, Sa in for Martinez for a -4. Yep. If I was you, I would do it. Because, you know, you're not getting any points from Martinez, so it's essentially a two-pointer start. Alright, we've got our Cristiano Ronaldo starts for United. See, again, guys, please, for the love of God, I'm telling you again, do not later on, do not tell me that I said Ronaldo is starting. I'm just giving you, here's the tweet. I'm giving you the link of the tweet. You can go and check it out for yourself. Whatever he said, FPL football intelligence. So he says Ronaldo starts, and he's also on penalty duties. So that's what he said, and that's what he's tweeted. All right. So guys, take it with a pinch of salt and make your decisions based on that, please. All right. Just take it with a pinch of salt, my friends. All right. Perica says, PJS3 says Perica to Calvert-Lewin or Bruno to Ferran Torres. Greenwood for Ronaldo for a -4. PJ3, can you be more clear, bro? I didn't understand that properly, bro. If you can be more clear, I'd be able to answer that. By the way, I've given the link to the tweet based on which I said that Ronaldo is gonna start. So take it with a pinch of salt, guys. Again, you know, I don't want my DMs to be filled with bad messages or unpleasant messages. All right. Aditya says Ronaldo and Traore for Tony and Bruno, and risk Son with Liverpool. Aditya, I don't think Son starts personally. I don't think Son starts this game week. I think Brian Hill is going to take his place. So if you want to get Ronaldo, I think it should be in place of Son. If you can, then you get to keep Bruno and Ronaldo and give you more flexibility in your team if you want to change it later on. Pedro says, I have Ben White in my team too. Do you have any concerns? No. I don't have any concern. I think he's going to start today. The only concern is whether Arsenal are going to do anything or not. I don't have any concerns about him starting, by the way. King Kong says, will you keep Ronaldo in your 11? I would. If he's starting, I'm gonna make my transfers. With 10 minutes to go, I'm gonna make my transfers and Perica. Okay, Perica to Calvert-Lewin for a free, or Bruno to Ferran Torres and Perica to Ronaldo for -4. CPJ3. This Perica to Calvert-Lewin is the logical move, the right move to make. If you want to get Ronaldo, your instinct says you want to get Ronaldo. That is the only way to kind of, the only reason to go for Ronaldo. Otherwise, I think Perica to DCL is a perfectly good move as well. I just don't want to. For me, personally, I don't want to miss out on Ronaldo, and that's the reason I'm going for him. Will Smith Rowe start? That's the $1 million question, bro. I have no answer for that right now. He was ill. He didn't have COVID, so that's the positive. Let me check my predicted lineups and tell you what I've written. No, I don't expect him to start. Emil Smith Rowe. In my notes, I've written that he's not gonna start. So again, take that with a pinch of salt. I keep repeating. I'm at a risk of repeating myself today, innit, guys? I'm sorry, but FPL Jack says, Wiz, let me get CR and Trincao. I'll be back. Go on, Jax. Good luck, bro. Film Chris says, do you think Calvert-Lewin will start on Monday? He's 75. I think he's gonna start. His injury is a toe injury, and he's been playing with the protection on and stuff. So I think he's going to start. But I think if Everton score a couple of early goals, I think he might be taken off at 60 minutes. But I think he's going to start. I don't think there's a doubt about that. If he can train, I think he can play as well. Marco says, I have unfortunately 2 Arsenal players. Should I start Ben White or Smith Rowe? Smith Rowe, I think he's been ill. I see very less chance of Smith Rowe starting this game. So if I was you, I'd rather start Ben White, because in my opinion, if Smith Rowe even comes on, he'll come on as a sub. So yeah. Alright. Is Greenwood starting? I don't know about any other United news. Mon. The only thing I can tell you is that from that tweet which I quoted from Football Intelligence Unit, he's like an insider who knows some people from the club and stuff. He said that Ronaldo is starting. So that's all I can tell you about United. Aditya says, Wiz can't get Ron for Son. Oh, you can't. Aditya, but this I honestly don't think that you should keep Son, because a 10 million player on the bench, I think it's just too much for me. That's just my opinion, by the way. I don't want to influence you with my opinion. I just want to tell you what my opinion is. Alright, just give me a second. Do you think Ferran Torres will start? Aaron, can't say with any certainty about the Pep rule. Ferran Torres played 3 games in the international break is all I can tell you. -8 for Bruno to Ronaldo. I think, Stan, that's a bit much, to be honest with you. If you feel that gives you a stable team for the long term, I would do it. Otherwise, I'd say no. That's just my opinion. Again, not influencing any moves here, guys. Just giving you my opinions. Film Chris says, will Calvert-Lewin start? I think he will, yes. Jake says, how nailed is Sias? I think he's nailed for the short term, not for the long term. Thoughts about Tierney? I think he's a fantastic option for the upcoming weeks. If you don't have any Arsenal players and you've got like a little bit of a cash to spend, I think Tierney is like a really good option. He created 6 chances versus Brentford. Can you believe it? 6 chances a left back creates against Brentford. So I think Tierney is a good option. Yeah. Someone says CU. I think we're gonna be looking at a lot of CUs today if Ronaldo scores. This is It's kind of Twitter is gonna go mad if he does score. Salah or Ronaldo? If you've got Ronaldo, I'd say Ronaldo. Can't get in Jota. How about Mount instead? I'm just not enthused by the prospects of Mount, bro. Really, you know, I'd say Rafinha is a good option too. Greenwood, is also good. The thing about Mount is, I'd say get him in after game week 6 when the fixtures are good. You don't really want to be playing Mason Mount against Tottenham and maybe Manchester City. So, that's just my opinion. Refusion says, make your team whiz, time is coming. Yeah, I will make my transfers. With 15 minutes to go, I will, my friend. Don't worry about it. I'm just, yeah. I set a deadline in my mind and I'll make it. Soman says, Greenwood will definitely play. He scored in every match. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. But I don't have any news about that. That's just my speculation, right? That's our speculation. Greenwood will play, yeah. I'm scared of not owning Greenwood in my team, by the way, guys. I have to tell you this. I am scared about not owning Greenwood. Actually what I could do is in my team, and I thought about it long and hard, without taking a hit, I could go for like Greenwood here. Like for example, I could just go for Greenwood and keep Tsimikas, and then next week, take a hit and, get Jota in or somebody. But then again, I'll have to take 2 hits because I have to take Tsimikas out and Tony out to get Jota. It's just too much. Next week I think I can get Greenwood with only 1 hit. So I don't know. I thought about it long and hard, and I figured this is the best option. I think Jota is more nailed, or gonna get more game time, and with hang on, let me put on Livramento here. Sorry guys. Alright, back to your questions. Ronaldo starts, says Matea. Yeah, Matea, thank you so much. I did check it out on Twitter, and I gave the link of the tweet to everybody for them to check it out. Greenwood or Saka? Greenwood, according to me, Greenwood. Is Rafinha starting? Yeah, I think he should. He's cleared by FIFA to start, so now it all depends on Bielsa if he wants to start James or Rafinha. Technically, he's available to start. Thomas says, should I transfer out Son, or do you think I should keep hold for now? Thomas, the thing is, he's got a good fixture this game week in which he might not play because he's not fit. The next game week he's got Chelsea, and the next game week after that he's got Arsenal, the North London derby. I'd say the fixtures dictate that you should kind of sell him. Aaron says, Wiz, can you suggest a 7 million midfielder other than Traore and Sarr? Already have Jota, Salah, Rafinha. Greenwood is the only one that comes to mind. Or maybe you can go for Benrahma. I'd say that's also an option, although he does have United next game week. But there are not many other midfielders. You've already got Jota, Salah and Rafinha, and I'd say Greenwood. Fadzli says, Wiz, trying to fit one of Jota and Greenwood while I'm here with both of them. Fadzli, that is. I think many people have got Greenwood, and I think the mistake which I made at the start of the season was not to go with Greenwood and go for Harvey Barnes. That guy is so frustrating to own. Honestly. Don't remind me of him. News on Firmino and Rafinha. Firmino is injured and Rafinha is clear to start. Could do Son, Bruno and Tony to Greenwood up to 8.5 mil for a -4. Aditya, that's fine, yeah. You could do that. I mean, if you could simply do, maybe take out Tsimikas and Son for Jota and some other defender as well. But I like these moves as well. If you really strongly want to get CR7, that is the only way I would suggest you to make these moves, Matthias says, I need your help, bro. No worries, my friend. That's what I'm here for. Saw, Tierney, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rudiger, Semedo. Yeah, so you've got basically 2 Wolves defense. Alright, Salah, Torres, Traore, Jota, Ronaldo, Antonio. So you've got 2 strikers, and you've got Steer, Pookie, Ailing, Allen, good enough. I like that team, yes, Amathea. I don't see any problems with that, You've got 2 Wolves defenders, and I think it's justified. If you want, you could go for Meslier as well. Meslier is also has really good fixtures, but I like the team a lot. I don't see any problems with that. It's flexible enough for you to get Lukaku and maybe, Greenwood in midfield whenever you want to. I like that. Babikar says Dean, Torres or Semedo, DCL. Semedo and DCL. Salah, Jota, Greenwood, Trincao, DCL, Antonio Ronaldo. Game week 7, DCL to Lukaku, Jota to Mount. That's a good midfield. I like that. Babikar, I already answered your question, bro. You're just repeating yourself. I already answered that. Let me see if I have any more news. No more news. So I think this is it, guys. This is it. We already know Ronaldo is starting, right? And yeah, that's all I had. Let's go for it. I guess I say. Just give me a second. I'm just checking Twitter for final bits and pieces of information, and I'll tell you. Yep. I might go with somebody like Duffy, maybe. I don't know. I just need to make my transfers now. I'm just finalizing my transfer. I'll make them live for all of you to see anyway. So I'm just checking the final Twitter news or anything, if we can get any more updates. All right. No, I think we're fine. I don't think we're gonna get any more news anyway on Twitter. I guess it's time to lock our teams. Wish I had money to go for a Wolves defender, by the way. I'd really be interested in that. Alright, so I just want to know which one do you think I should be going for? Oh, so many comments. I should be going for should I go for Duffy or Livramento? That is the only thing which I'm considering right now. Think that's the only thing left for me to decide. Yeah. King Kong says, bro, you're taking a -4. Yes, I am going to be taking a -4. I think this is the best, the way to go, my friend. I'm going to lock my team, and you guys can have a look soon. Give me a second. I'm just. So Duffy or Duffy or Livramento is my only. Yeah, Todd says by Livramento. I'm kind of decided on Livramento as well. I don't know. The thing is, I've got 1.5 in the bank, so next week I'm possibly gonna do Tony out. I could just next week I could just get Jimenez. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But if I wanna get Jimenez, it's 7.4. So I could possibly go for somebody like Mark Call or Cody and still get Jimenez. That's what my dilemma is, because the only thing which I don't want to do is fix myself with Jimenez and not in a position to get somebody like Greenwood in midfield. That's the only thing. And Livramento has a good fixture in game week 6. Not a good, but a decent, alright fixture. I don't know how FDR has put this on 2 as well. So yeah, this is the only doubt. Todd says by Livramento. Livramento, I guess, bro says, bro, what formation would you go for? I'd go for 3-4-3, bro. Duffy has been good so far. I don't see him drop. Livramento is good too. I would go for Livramento. So I'd say everybody in the chat is kind of unanimously saying Livramento. I think that's also my option. I just sometimes I think, let me check Brighton's fixtures once again before I make the decision. Just so that I don't make any mistakes. So basically, if I wildcard here, right? If I do, maybe I won't, maybe I would, but this is where I've earmarked for the wildcard. So it's like Crystal Palace and Brentford away. Not bad fixtures. Livramento, basically I will need a defender for game week 6. I don't need a defender for game week 5 because most of my team has good fixtures in game week 5. The only time I need a defender is game week 6, and Livramento's got like Wolves in game week 6, which is possibly not a good fixture, and Duffy's got Crystal Palace away, and who signed Odson Edouard, pretty good striker from Celtic. Who else has a good fixture in game week 6? Let me see. Everton have good fixture in game week 6, but they don't have a cheap defender, so they're out of the question. Jota or Greenwood? That's $1 million question, bro. $1 million. I technically have both, but if I had to choose one, I'd say Jata because Firmino is out. You know. All right, I'd say let's just stick with the original plan. I'd say if we digress too much, I think it's gonna just cause heartache, later on. All right, let me just check. Tsimikas out, Fernandes. It just feels so wrong selling Bruno Fernandes, but sometimes you just have to make these decisions. Sometimes you just have to make these decisions, I guess. Livramento, Jota, and Ronaldo for Ings, Fernandes, and Tsimikas. All right, guys, here goes nothing. I've confirmed my team, and it's time to set the team, by the way. So it's not enough just making the transfers. Alright, so Rafinha comes in for Mr. Livramento, who's, I think, Gilmour is... I'd say put Livramento on 1, maybe he'll get an assist. I don't see him getting a clean sheet, but maybe an assist. Gilmour 2, Ayling 3, at least, Alright, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo, Mr. Hype Man. I hope we see a lot of those CEOs today. Alright, guys, so you can see my final team. Livramento then. Smelly Web says time to lock your teams. It's like 10 minutes left to the deadline, guys, to lock your teams. Who are you captaining? I'm captaining Ronaldo, bro. Captaining Ronaldo. Aaron says Jimenez, Dcl, Bamford. Aaron, the thing is, there's nothing much to be confused about here. They're all good options. Dcl and Bamford are on penalties. Jimenez is not. That is the only difference between them. Otherwise, Wolves have got good fixtures. You could easily go for Jimenez. If I was you, I'd think about Bamford. But the thing is, he doesn't have a good fixture in this game week, and that is the only thing which might put you off. Mattia says, will Tierney start? He will. Yeah. Totally. Matthew says, not having Ronaldo is going to be scary times for me. Totally, my friend. And that was the reason I didn't want to... the thing is, FPL affects my health so badly. Sometimes it's psychologically, it's hard for me not to own a very popular player and then go onto Twitter and people going absolutely crazy, hilarious, hysterical. And I'm here sulking. I don't want to be sulking. A sulking visit is never good. A happy visit is always better. Ronaldo will score 2 goals, he says. Ray says. I'm fingers crossed, bro. Joseph says Bruno and Perica out and Jota and Ronaldo in from -8. To be honest with you, -8 is subjective, Joseph. I can't say one way or another, honestly. It's subjective because, -8 is totally decided upon not only for one game week. It has to be long term. Matthias says, good luck, bro. Relax and enjoy Arsenal's first win of the season. Thank you so much for your good wishes. I hope it turns out to be well. I've been after Arsenal lost the first 3 games, bottom of the table, scoring no goals. I've been angry for 2 weeks, or even sad, we can say. Hi, Will. Cancelo will start. I think he will. Yes, Raghav. He started the first 3 games. I don't see any reason for Pep to change that. FPL Sam says, hope Tony scores a hat-trick, even though I have a double Brighton defense. I mean, the goal Tony scored was actually pretty good. He was in and around the box, and the cross came in, and he actually scored a very good goal against Aston Villa. I was actually happy with that. If he hadn't got a yellow card, I think he would have got all 3 bonus points as well. He still got 1 bonus point after that. So if he scores 1 goal against Brighton, I'll still be happy. Although it won't make a difference to me because Sanchez is gonna lose his clean sheet. So let's see what happens. Hope you will bring us good magic today, Mattea. That's hopefully for the best. A happy wizard does happy magic, and a sulking wizard generally does like black magic. So I'm hoping the wizard is happy today. By the way, guys, lock your teams. And a good news for Smelly Wab is Smelly Wab is a member of the channel, and we've got like special emojis for the channel. And next week I'm going to be adding an emoji to. So currently we've got these 3 special emojis which I'm posting here. But next week I'm gonna add an emoji. It's gonna be called "It's Time to Zen." So that emoji will be for Smelly Wab to use when when the deadline is approaching and he has to give us give us, his alarm, then we'll have a new, exclusively new, you know, emoji for Smelly Wab to use. And by the way, we do have 2 members now. We've got Smelly Wab and we've got Todd. So, thank you so much for considering to support the channel. I really appreciate it. I don't want black magic on my wildcard. Don't worry about it, Matea. You're gonna be fine, bro. You got such a good team. Just be confident. Sometimes confidence helps in, it kind of gets transmitted to your team and then they perform better. So be positive and be confident. FPL Sun says Ailing or Brownhill. I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference. Brownhill, I'd say, yeah, because I expect Liverpool to score anyway, so 2 points are sealed for Brownhill. So I'd say Brownhill. Why not? Would you get Jimenez for Ings for a -4? Jimenez for Ings for a -4 just doesn't feel right, Khalid. If I was you, I would just do it for a free next game week. I'd say just play Ings. I don't see Jimenez scoring 15 points. I'd say just keep Ings if you're having to take a hit. Sometimes, Ings has scored 2 goals, provided 1 assist, and Aston Villa are slowly getting Leon Bailey back, and like they've got John McGinn back, and Watkins back. I think, you could just take a chance with Ings as well. That's just my opinion again, have to repeat it. One day I'm gonna post a picture of my... I'm gonna post a picture of my inbox. Gordon Trincao and Cristiano Ronaldo. Good luck, Jugs. Good moves in my opinion. Trincao and Traore, I think they play well against different oppositions. Trincao plays well against teams like Watford, Norwich, and I think Traore plays well against teams like Manchester United, Spurs. I think the teams which come at Wolves, I think Traore is more suited for counter-attacking. Doucouré or Ruben Neves? Doucouré, Akshay. Totally Doucouré. Matthias says, yeah, I have to give my players a good team talk before the match. Totally. You're the manager, bro. You're the gaffer. Lock your team and hit the like button, says Todd. I'd do the opposite. I'd hit the like button and then lock your teams. Thank you so much for the shout out anyways, guys. Let me just refresh my team for the, just for the confirmation. And we are all set here, guys. Sanchez, Alexander-Arnold, Shaw, White, who I've got in game week 1. I've survived the price drop and put him in for this game exclusively. Let's hope he does something good. Salah, Benrahma, Jata, Rafinha, Tony, Ronaldo, Antonio. The vice captain should not be on Jata. I think that's just wrong. The Egyptian king deserves respect. Predictions. Alright. I think it's time for predictions. I think the first prediction has to be, which player are you scared of not owning? Let's start from there, and then let's move on to let's move on to the scores as well. Which player are you scared of not owning in your team? For me, it has to be Greenwood. Shopnan says, wish you all the best. Let's hope for a green arrow. Totally, my friend. Wish you all the best as well, Shopnan. So, guys, FPL Jug says Lukaku. That's a great shout. Actually, I'm really scared of not owning Lukaku as well. But since I already said Greenwood, I can't change it now. DCL says George. That's interesting. Do you expect DCL to score more than 1, George? How many do you expect him to kind of score? I think we'll discuss that when we come to the predictions. Scared of Jota, says Todd. That is fair. But maybe Leeds at home will be defensively more resolute with some of their players coming back, especially in the defense. They were playing with a pretty makeshift defense, to be honest. Smelly Wab says not having Ronaldo. Ooh, definitely. If I wouldn't own Ronaldo, I would be scared. What's his ownership, by the way? Let me just check it out for you. 27, right? So it's not the highest, but I'd say it's pretty high, yeah? His expected ownership would be higher because of the captaincy. Aditya says going without Ronaldo. Grealish or Greenwood? I'd say there's not much difference between the two. They're both just kind of taking over. I'd say a little bit more. I'd be leaning more towards Grealish because I'm not sure about Greenwood. If he has one bad game, I think he's a chance to get dropped. I don't think Grealish gets dropped out of that City team. But for the short term, Greenwood. Long term, Grealish. Aditya says Ronaldo. DCL really wanted him for 3 game weeks, but point one. I totally understand FPL Sam, the dreaded point one. Pippin says scared of Ronaldo. if I wouldn't own Ronaldo, I wouldn't watch that United game. You know, sometimes I just keep checking SofaScore to verify my my fears that a certain player has scored. For example, Benrahma, not owning him the first 2 game weeks was so scary. Whenever West Ham scored a goal, although I owned Antonio, I would first check who got the assist or who scored the goal. And so scary not owning Benrahma as well. Anyways, the deadline is over, and next time we're gonna have a beautiful emoji for Smellywab to use for the Zen. And now let's get to the predictions, guys. Let's Smellywab says good luck everyone. Thank you so much, Smellywab, and good luck to you as well. I think let's end the stream with our predictions, and let's talk about the matches a little bit. About which team is gonna do what. Let me see if I got it right. All right. So, all right, guys. Time for predictions. The first game is Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. What do you think is gonna happen in this game? I'll give you the chance to answer, and then I'm gonna give you my own prediction. Although I think everybody's gonna technically just say that Tottenham is gonna win. Hopefully, FPL Sam says 1-1. That is interesting. FPL Sam, don't you expect that? I thought everybody would expect Spurs to just win. FPL Jack says 1-0. Todd says 2-0. Matthias says 1-1. Spurs to edge it. Lightrace says 2-0 Spurs. So except FPL Sam and Matthias, I think we're in agreement with my own prediction that Spurs are gonna win this game. I'd say Spurs are gonna win 2-1. 2-1. I think Kane is gonna score, and I think if Son doesn't start, I think Dele Alli has a chance to do well in this fixture. It's a good fixture for Tottenham. Technically, I think Kane has a good record against Spurs also. Good chance to get him back in form. So I'd say 2-1 to Spurs. They seem to like 1-0. Yeah, they do. Actually, they've won most of the games 1-0 against Wolves as well, against City as well. So yeah, totally. The next fixture is Arsenal versus Norwich. What do you say is gonna happen in this game, guys? I'm an Arsenal fan. The enthusiast in me dies every day, but have to support. I'm just, guys. I have to be honest with you. I for example, when my son was born, he was small. I used to show him the Arsenal logos. I used to kind of sing him the chants of Arsenal so that he could, I was just trying to, condition him for Arsenal or supporting Arsenal. And sometimes now I feel that maybe that would not be the right thing to do. Maybe I'll just let him grow up and support whichever team he wants to, because I supported Arsenal in the moments or in the time when Arsenal was a really strong unit, and it has given me a lot of pain in these past few years. So I actually, when he was small, I'd actually sing to him, and it's Arsenal FC, and he actually remembers it now, but I still think about it. Anyways, back to the predictions. A 3-1 Arsenal, 3-1, 4-2, 3-0. You all really supportive. So thank you so much for. So I'd say we'll win 3-1. I'd say that is. I do expect Arsenal to concede, although Arsenal were a very solid defensive unit last season, but this season they haven't looked as solid at the back. Maybe it was for the lack of personnel, because we were playing with Pablo Mari, Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, but in this game I expect Gabriel Magalhaes and Ben White to start along with Kieran Tierney and the new signing Takehiro Tamiyasu. So I think we should be fine defensively. That is just. We should be fine, and since I'm playing Ben White, I hope for a clean sheet. All right, let's hurry up a little. I can hear my son crying outside, so I have to finish the predictions, and I'll just go and try to take him out or something. Brentford versus Brighton, guys. Brentford versus Brighton. This is gonna be interesting. I'd say 1-2 to Brighton. 1-2 to Brighton. 0-0 says Aditya. FPL Jack says 0-0. Wow, interesting. George says 0-1 to Brighton. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm totally looking at it the wrong way, I guess, then. 1-0 to Brighton. Todd says 1-1. Bubbin. Wow, no predictions matching mine. Matthias prediction. Lightrace says 1-1. Matthias says 0-0. Guys, that is interesting. That is very interesting. I expect Brighton are a really good attacking unit, by the way. I expect them to score goals, against Brentford. But I agree with you that Brentford haven't given away too many big chances. So I guess you might be right there. 0-0. FPL Sam says 0-0 or 3-0 Brentford. So nobody is going for a Brentford win here. Mostly are going for a draw or a Brighton win. Interesting. I'd say 1-2. I'll stick with my prediction, which I've made. I'd say Ivan Toney scores a goal, and maybe for Brighton, I'd say Mope, I guess, or Trossard. I don't know who scores for them. Leicester versus Manchester City. I think it's going to be a win for Manchester City in this one, guys, and I think it's going to be straightforward because Leicester defense haven't looked really solid. With Amartey playing. If Vestergaard comes in, I don't know how it impacts their defense, but I expect Manchester City to be too strong for Leicester. Although Leicester City beat Manchester City in both the games last season, and it was very interesting. Jamie Vardy scored like a couple of penalties away at the Etihad as well. So that could be something, but I don't see Leicester as good as they were last season beating Manchester City now. So 1-3, 3-1 Manchester City, 2-2 says Bippin. Interesting. Jug says 4-0 City. Interesting. So I'd say we all unanimously agree that City are going to win here. Nobody is giving Leicester a prayer. So let's go ahead. I'd say the score would be 1-3 Manchester City. That would be my prediction. United versus Newcastle. This is going to be a big one. Todd says 3-1 Manchester City as well. 1-1 says Aditya. Interesting. FPL Sam says 0-1. That could be the scoreline. Agreed. That could be the scoreline depending on who starts for City. So the interesting one is United versus Newcastle. Matthias says 0-3. Oh, that must be for the City game. And now we're on to United versus Newcastle. Since I got in Ronaldo for a hit, I sold Bruno Fernandes. I expect United to score at least 4 and Ronaldo to get a hat-trick. Manchester United 5-0, 4-0, 10-0. Interesting. Matteo, you're a United fan, innit? No, you're not. 3-0, 5-0. Bippin says 0-0. He doesn't own Ronaldo. I can guarantee you that. Ronaldo with 2 goals and an assist. Interesting. Very interesting. So I guess we're all unanimously agreeing, except for the ones who don't own Ronaldo, that United are going to beat Newcastle. Especially, they're without a keeper, they're without Callum Wilson. I think they're going to find it really hard to keep the ball against United. They're going to get dominated in possession, Newcastle, I think, today. Unless Alan St. Maxima comes up with a crazy performance. Alright, so United win here. Shaw with an assist. I would love that. The next one, Southampton, West Ham. I'd say 1-3 to West Ham United. I think West Ham United are too strong for Southampton, and I think they're gonna score 3 goals. Southampton, I'm gonna give them a chance to nick one back. So 1-3 to West Ham United for me would be the prediction. Yeah, I expect Antonio to do well in this game because they're playing with a very weak centre back pairing. Southampton. I think it was Salisu and Jack Stephens. Even in the defense, they've got Livramento. They've not got really good headers. And West Ham have got Soucek, Antonio, amazing headers off the ball. And, delivery is good as well from Cresswell and Sofal. So I expect West Ham to win there. 3-0 says Bippin. Aditya says 1-0, no involvement from Antonio or Benrahma. Alright. Well, if West Ham score, I think Antonio has to be somehow involved. Unless Soucek scores from a corner or something. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement that... West Ham are going to win. Watford versus Wolves. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting prediction. I want to see what you say before I give my own prediction, because it's hard to predict this game. FPL Sam says 1-1. Yeah, that could be. That could be it. Watford at home. Wolves not scoring too many goals, despite being really good attacking wise. 2-0 Wolves. Caspiano says 2-1. I expect that to be in favor of Wolves. I am Sully says 1-0 Wolves, 1-0. Yeah. Todd says 0-0. Interesting. Aditya says 3-2 either way. Alright. Matthias says 0-1. Babin says 1-2. I expect this to be a 1-1 as well. That's what I was initially thinking. I expect Watford to score with Sarr being involved, and I expect Wolves to score. Not sure who's going to be involved in that goal. I expect maybe Semedo, Trincao, I guess, with providing to Jimenez. Traore I don't see doing too well in this game because of the way Watford play. They sit in a deep block, so Jimenez comeback is on the card, says Rupam. Yeah, it could be, because this is the kind of game in which Jimenez actually does well. So Jimenez could definitely do well. Alrighty, so let's move on to Chelsea versus Aston Villa. I don't think there's much to discuss here, with Martinez and Emiliano Buendia not being available, and Chelsea being almost full strength and adding to their full strength squad with Saul Niguez and Lukaku fit again. I have it. Although they're not gonna have Reece James, I think they're gonna play Callum Hudson-Odoi in place of him, or maybe Azpilicueta. They're going to change a formation. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think Chelsea too strong. 2-0 win to Chelsea for me. Upset, says I am Sully. 1-2 Villa. Do you really see an upset? They don't even have Martinez, Sully. Really? That's interesting. This is going to be really interesting if Chelsea... I expect Chelsea to be title contenders. I expect them to win the title this season. They're not supposed to be losing these kinds of games if they're going for the title. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I said 2-0, so we've got a lot of 3-0s and 2-0s. FPL Jack says 2-1 Chelsea. Interesting. George says 3-0. Rupam says 5-0 Chelsea. Chelsea aren't in the most prolific goal scoring form, so 5-0 would be interesting to see who scores those goals. If Lukaku is involved, that would be a big shock for my team, or a setback, let's say. But I expect Chelsea to win by more like 2 goals. Yeah, this is Chelsea home. Yeah, that is true. Stamford Bridge, crowd, hostile. Not a really big pitch, Stamford Bridge, so anything can happen. Yeah, I'd say maybe 3-0 would be better, but I already said 2-0, so let's just stick with the predictions. Leeds versus Liverpool, guys, the second last game, and the only game on Sunday, I'd say. What do you think is gonna happen here? Leeds 1 to Liverpool. Yes, Ziyech coming back to the side. Yes, let's see. I'm intrigued to see what's gonna happen with Chelsea, by the way. Yeah, 4-1 Liverpool, says Jug. 3-1 says Todd. Aditya says 0-2. George says 1-2, and FPL Sam says 1-2. I'm expecting Liverpool to win. I'm expecting Liverpool to win 1-3. I expect Leeds are gonna score against them. Because I think they've been alright, Leeds, this season. They haven't been the same side, which was, there were two different versions of Leeds last season. The first half of the season, like expansive, attacking, pressing football. The second one was a defensively resolute, playing on the counter-attack. We haven't seen any of those two Leeds United sides. Maybe it was for the lack of personnel, or maybe it was due to the lack of, just maybe, gelling together. I don't know what was going on there. But let's see which kind of Leeds turns up. 3-5 Liverpool, says Alvin. I think it's gonna be it's too much expecting 3-5 from that game, to be honest. Ruben says 2-4. I'd say more like a 3-1, but let's see what happens. That's an interesting prediction. It's the last season's opener. We're seeing that Leeds again, but the thing is that match was at Anfield. This is at Elland Road, so maybe that'll make a difference. Salah scored a hat-trick in that game. It was amazing in that game. But let's see what happens. I'm personally predicting a 1-3 win for Liverpool, but let's hope for the best. I mean, if Liverpool does well, we already we own Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold, most of us, so I think it's going to be a good news for us. Ruben says this game has got goals written all over it. Yeah, I've got Rafinha, Jota, Salah, and Trent from that game. So if it's a 3-5, I'm going to be the happiest person, because I actually put my trust on Jota. I even took a hit to get Jota in play. I could have easily gone for Greenwood without a hit, but I went for Jota long term. So if it pays off in this game week, I'd be more than happy. The last one, guys, and I don't have any players from this game. Possibly should. Sometimes the last game, when you don't own any players, it gives you pain. But it is FPL, guys. All right. So Everton versus Burnley. What do you think is going to happen in that game? Everton 2-0, Burnley 2-1. It's at Goodison Park. You really expect Burnley to win, bro. Everton have been doing well, actually. FPL Jax is 2-0, Everton 2-0. Everybody's like in unison, I think, 2-0s. Yeah, Sully says 2-0 as well. Interesting, guys. I expect Everton to win, but I don't expect them to keep a clean sheet. You know, let me see what Burnley's. Yeah, I'd say 2-1 win for Everton. I don't think Everton have been great in defense, especially Coleman is injured or maybe he has a hamstring problem. So in my opinion, I think they're gonna play Mason Holgate there possibly, or they're gonna who else are they? Because Ben Godfrey is back as well. They might put Ben Godfrey in there. If he plays there on the right hand side, Ben Godfrey, then that's gonna make their defense a little bit more solid. So yeah, I guess 2-1 or 2-0 to Everton. It depends on which actually players actually start, because Yerry Mina, Michael Keane, Ben Godfrey, Mason Holgate, they're all back, and Dean is obviously gonna play left back, but Coleman is injured. So let's see what happens. Our Lighter says, great way to finish the deadline. This was, yeah, thank you so much, my friend. I figured last week when we did these predictions, I think it went well, so I decided that we're gonna do it every week. It just takes like 10 minutes of my time, but it's interesting to kind of just sum up the entire deadline stream. So I guess we come to the end of the predictions, guys, and to the end of the stream as well. So I thank you everyone for joining the live stream for the Game Week 4 deadline and staying here for such a long time and contributing to the chat as well. Thank you so much for being here, and as always, we're gonna do a midweek FPL council. So if you have time, do come join the FPL council, give your opinions, and the council is supposed to be full of knowledgeable big wizards, and and I already selected my color. I am the gray, so you can all select your colors for the council, and let's make a beautiful rainbow. Anyways, thank you so much everybody for joining, and I'll see you on the FPL council stream. I hope you all have a great game week and take care of yourselves. May the arrows be green. FPL Wizard signing out with this beautiful song for you. Take care everybody. Bye bye.